Hi there. Hey, this is Dr. Tech recording the answer to question number 1 of the final exam. This question has got two major components. The first one is a conditional statement. So with the conditional statement, we have to first figure out the preconditions of the then branch and also the else branch. And then we have to also know how to combine the post conditions of the then branch and the else branch back into the post condition of the entire conditional statement. So let's go ahead and check this out. Your question may not be exactly the same. There are several variations of this. So because the precondition is already given to you, I'm gonna copy it here too. So the precondition of line 101 is given to be x equals to n. And the constant n is really here so that we can relate the final value of x to its initial value. So the next thing we need to do is to figure out the precondition of the then branch and also the else branch. The precondition of the then branch, which is the pre of 102, is pre 101 because no variable has changed in between, and also the condition has to be true, so x has to be less than 0. And then the precondition of the else branch, which is on line 104, is also pre 101, and this time the condition is false, so it is not the case that x is less than 0. The next thing we need to do then is to figure out the block itself, the then block and also the else block. So with the then block on line 102, oh, I forgot one thing. So we need to expand the precondition so that the precondition of 101 is expanded to be, oops, x equals n and x is less than 0. And then on pre 104, it is pre 104 equals to x equals n, and we can simplify this a little bit, and we can say that x is greater than or equal to 0. So now we can try to figure out what is line 102 is going to do. So we look at line 102, and then we say f of x is the negation, arithmetic negation of x. So the inverse of that is, which is f prime, is also just itself. So the negation of x is its own inverse. So we have to use the substitution rule. So this makes the post condition of line 102 equal to the result of the substitution of the precondition of line 102. And for every occurrence of the variable x, we replace it with f prime applied to x, like that. And then we just expand out all of these terms. The precondition of line 102 is x equals n, and x is less than 0. And then we'll find all the occurrences of x and replace each one with the negation of x. So after the replacement, we end up with the negation of x equals to n, and the negation of x is less than 0. So if you get to this point, it's okay. You don't need to simplify that any further. So that's the post condition of the then branch. The post condition of the else branch is easy because the post condition of 104 is really the same thing as the precondition of line 104, because that particular line, which says no operation, doesn't do anything. So the post condition is the same as the precondition. So now that we have the post condition of the then branch, which is post 102, and also the post condition of the else branch, which is post 104, we can then combine those two, so we can have post 105, which is the post condition of the entire conditional statement. That becomes post 102 or post 104, and then we can expand that. So in this case, the expansion doesn't take up a whole lot of work, even if you're doing this by hand. So we're going to do it like so. So the negation of x equals to n, more parentheses around this, and the negation of x is less than 0. That's the post condition of the then branch. And then the post condition of the else branch is the same as pre-104, which is up here. So we just say that x equals to n, and x is greater than or equal to 0. And that's it. So the way I'm going to score this question is to look into a few factors. Line 1 obviously doesn't count for any points because that's just copied from the question. Lines 2 and 3 are worth some points, and then lines 4 and 5 are definitely worth some points as well. So when you combine these 4 lines, they form the analysis of the precondition of the then versus the else branch. And then from line 6 to line 11, that has to do with whether you understand how an assignment statement is affecting a variable and how to apply, deciding when to apply the substitution rule and how to apply the substitution rule. So that is worth quite a bit of points as well. And then the second to last portion is how we figure out, this is the post condition of the else branch, which is somewhat trivial, so it's not worth a lot of points. And then another portion that is worth some points is the post condition of the entire conditional statement, which is the combination of the post condition of the then branch versus the post condition of the else branch. So this line here is definitely worth quite a bit of points because it has to do with the structure of the conditional statement. But you also kind of have to expand it out so that I can actually see that you understand how to combine the conditions. So that concludes the discussion of the first question. And as I continue to work on the key of the additional questions, I will post more videos. Once again, this is for cisp300 in 2018 fall semester.